On the 2nd of December of 2008, the conference, Building ICT Research Bridges on the Atlantic, was held at the Residence Palace in Brussels.
The goal of the conference today is to show to the audience capacities, activities and potentialities that Latin America organizations have in order to bridge with the European one that are active in the research and development arena.
The event represented a great opportunity to show the audience cases of success for European Union and Latin American cooperation in the ICT research arena, as well as to introduce the Latin American potential in the field.
This solar ICT project that is a milestone for us in terms of trans-regional cooperation.
Solar has become, in my perspective, like a Rosetta Stone, which is translating what the European wants into our Latin American understanding and perception about what the projects are focused in.
A large delegation of ICT private and public companies, research centers and universities from 9 different Latin American countries, including Argentina, Brazil, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guatemala, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay, took part in the conference.
Participation in European projects, ICT projects, is a great opportunity to change the things and to understand itself and be part of the community, of course.
Fue una actividad bastante enriquecedora, tanto para el equipo de punto de apoyo como para mí, porque empezamos a conocer nuevos recursos que no teníamos a mano.
Well, it's quite experience working with Europe, because it's not the same like working with Washington. We have to do the best.
Our governments are doing a lot of noise, a lot of talking, but very little actions. And when you challenge them by bringing concrete projects, by bringing concrete options, so you challenge them to do something more than talking.
The Latin American delegates were given the floor to share their experiences of collaboration with Europe through the ICT program, as well as to show their competence and skills in the know-how to potential future partners.
The next speaker is coming from Mexico.
So a very, very important event in Mexico was the agreement in 2004 about scientific cooperation agreement between Europe and Mexico.
For the first time in Argentina's life, we are going to have a national digital agenda, and 2 members of WINDS have participated directly.
We're aiming also to the digital TV. It's a cheapest way, it's a way to interact with the internet, promote it, but also it's a way we need to educate.
It's a real pleasure for us to can share with you all what was our experience with SOLAR-ICT, which was a real challenge experience for us.
The objective of the conference was to enable the Latin American delegation members to come face-to-face with representatives of the European organizations so they can introduce their projects to them in order to start future collaboration in areas like science and technology.
Creo que es necesario la presentación de proyectos donde podamos ver cómo podemos lograr cooperación regional.
Lo que nosotros estamos proponiendo en este momento es algo que va un poco más allá, que es llevar todos esos resultados de esas investigaciones y pruebas a la vida práctica.
Creemos que el recurso humano no puede estar aislado de todas las iniciativas de tecnologías de la información y las comunicaciones, ya que eso nos da las oportunidades de generar desarrollo en nuestros países.
On the other hand, members of the European Commission took the floor to talk about the ongoing strategic policies towards a new and strong partnership with Latin American countries.
There are a number of areas where Latin America is specifically mentioned. There is this new scheme to enlarge the European technology platforms, which could be very important. So I think all that and many more activities to come are making me quite optimistic that the growing participation of Latin American organizations will not only be maintained, but should normally also be strengthened.
LA participation in ICT FP7 is growing. This is a fact, and this we think is partially a result of our 2 projects, and we are quite confident, if not sure, that this will go on in the future.
Latin American organizations can present projects that fill the strategy of the work program itself. in one side, and in the other side the strategy of the country they belong to. Now, one of the most important elements for consolidating the European Union and Latin America cooperation is to bridge structures and networks that will continue existing in the next future.
The event was an invaluable opportunity to present and to publish useful project results to European stakeholders and the media concerning ICT cooperation initiatives between Latin America and the European Union.
The successful final event shows that the work has been done toughly with enthusiasm.
We did work on on improving cooperation between Europe and Latin America in the long-term perspective.
We have been pushing international cooperation for many years, and Latin America is one of our most important partners in this sense. Latin America has a huge potential, and I think we have been able, with the help of this event today, to show many fields where there is mutual interest and benefit to work together.
I would stress that the participation to these last events somehow are a key milestones for the future activities that could see Europe and Latin America cooperating together.
I think we can now start to the wrap up of the day. I invite you, Andrea, to start.
There was a sentence that I really liked from our colleague Cecilia De Soto from Sagietec in Uruguay: see to believe it and live it to understand it. This is a key point that we should take into consideration here. I see the first part, see to believe it, as the participation to the SOLAR-ICT, but especially the participation to the ICT 2008 event. You had the occasion to see what's going on. This is the basis. And the second part is leave it to understand it, and this is what's coming next.
Well, I would just like to thank our partners for the work they did in WINDS, and of course the Friends of Solar for the cooperation, especially for this last week of Latin American and Caribbean run over Europe. That was in fact to me also after some years a nice experience of experiencing differences and understanding and learning a lot as we just saw. From my side, I see let's say a bright present and a possibly even brighter future. So thank you.
We arrive at the end. Just few key remarks, key points. I said this morning that Latin America has huge potentiality in ICT arena. No, it is an actor of the ICT arena. So we pass from this state to that one today. Europe has called and Latin America answered with concrete enthusiasm, project initiatives. Results are coming already, joint results with, between Europe and Latin America, and there is a great expectation for joint development in the future. I close with quoting again Cecilia, that you are quoted a lot today. You say, a new art for Latin America, networking. And probably this is one of the keywords of the success for the continent in the future. Finally, I would like to thank the audience, the speakers, the translation and the interpreters, and the European Journalist Center that helped us in organizing this event. Thank you very much.